It's up to us, all of us. The safety of our communities is in our hands. The police need our help and support. Boko Haram threatens our lives, our future, our country. But Nigeria belongs to us. God has blessed us with this rich land.
Good luck. Ebele, Azikiwe, Jonathan. I've accepted to present myself.
President Goodluck Jonathan formally enters the 2015 presidential race.
Mr. President, you've demonstrated that we can be trusted.
Enough to make sure that we give you the kudos, the support to come back.
Gala of support from the north, south, east, and the west as President Jonathan declares intention to run in 2015. And Yobe State government closes all schools in the state following bomb attack on a school in Portisco. Welcome to NTA Network News. My name is Muhammad Kudu Abubakar. President Goodluck Jonathan has formally declared his intention to join the race for the 2015 presidential election. The president, who made the declaration in Abuja, pledged to continue with his transformation agenda. State House correspondent Shegun Lawale reports.
From the north central, east and west, south, east and west, party supporters and enthusiasts thronged the Eagle Square to garner support for Goodluck Jonathan, who officially declared his intention to run for another 4-year term as president in the 2015 general elections. The party supporters at the Eagle Square were not only excited to have President Jonathan declare his ambition, but to pledge their total support for the man and for continuity of his national transformation. President Jonathan, while highlighting his achievement in the last 3.5 years, was full of gratitude to Nigerians for the trust reposed in him and his administration's stewardship, although not without challenges, especially those taking arms against their country, Nigeria.
We will surely get our daughters free. We must defeat terror. We are equipping the armed forces and deploying special forces this time to engage the terrorists and end this senseless war. We must protect our country. We must save our people. I will do everything humanly possible to end this criminal violence in our nation.
As he reflected on his administration's achievement in the last 3.5 years, particularly in areas like agriculture, railways, education, oil and gas, as well as road rehabilitation, among other infrastructure development, President Jonathan assured Nigerians that he will work with them and collectively build a new Nigeria where hopes and dreams are realized.
After seeking the face of God in quiet reflection with my family, and after listening to the calls of our people nationwide to run, I, Goodluck, Ebele, Azikiwe, Jonathan, have accepted to present myself on the platform of the People's Democratic Party for re-election as the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Vice President Namadi Sambo, among other speakers, including the PDP Governors Forum, acknowledged the remarkable progress made by the Jonathan-led administration and solicited the support of the people of Nigeria for continuity.
I make it bold to say our president has led this country well. His transformation agenda is blooming in every sector.
We went down and saw the dams and the irrigation projects in the north. We saw what you are doing in the railway system. We noticed your efforts at empowering our farmers. we took cognizance of the revolution in the power sector.
From the Eagle Square, Abuja, Shegun Lawale, NTA News.
Meanwhile, correspondent Abdullahi Garba Benunkudu reports that the presidential declaration was another opportunity for Nigerians across interest groups to appraise President Jonathan's administration. They spoke the minds of their people on the need for President Jonathan to consolidate on his achievements beyond 2015.
The harmonious relationship between the arms of government came to play as Senate President led members of the National Assembly to declare support to the president for another term.
Mr. President, you've demonstrated that you can be trusted. We want a leader who can inspire the younger ones in this country. Mr. President, you've demonstrated that you're a great inspiration to young boys and young girls.
We are convinced that despite all the distractions, despite all the security challenges, that he has been able to achieve this feat, meaning that if he has an unencumbered, with little or no distraction, another 4 years, that he will do a great job.
For the representatives of the 6 geopolitical zones, it was time to list achievements of the administration as it affects their people.
A transformer of the power sector, a reformer of education, activator of the railways, generator of agricultural transformation. Economic indices of this country are enough to make sure that we give you the kudos, the support to come back.
So also the southeast and the northeast, the ongoing second Niger bridge, and railway projects are some of the projects endeared President Jonathan to them and asked him to carry on.
We want you to come and commission the second Niger bridge, Enugu-Port Harcourt Express Road. You have now established 3 universities, one in Potaskum, one in Ukari.
There were also goodwill messages from the women groups, labor leaders, the students and youth, as well as the parents touched positively by the Almajiri schools in northern Nigeria. For the Chairman Presidential Declaration Committee, Dr. Bello Halliru Muhammad, it was a successful event and urged Nigerians to continue to rally around PDP as the current challenges are surmountable.
But as you can see and as you can hear from the President's speech, the government is doing all it could to prepare our security services to confront the issue of security.
Before the formal declaration of President Goodluck Jonathan, PDP as a party under its Board of Trustees, National Working Committee and the Governors Forum have endorsed him as a sole candidate of the party in the presidential election from 2015. From Eagle Square in Abuja, Abdullahi Garba, NTA News.
As President Goodluck Jonathan declared his intention to seek re-election in 2015, Nigerian women came to the event expectant that the 35% affirmative action granted them will now be consolidated. They told correspondent Makut Simon Mucham that they will continue to work with the First Lady, then Patient Jonathan, in supporting the president to do more for women.
At about this time in 2011, President Goodluck Jonathan engaged the Nigerian electorate in seeking their mandate to govern Nigeria. In this engagement, he made a promise to Nigerian women to carry them along and see that they are involved in the governance of the country. As the Eagle Square hosted thousands of Nigerians who witnessed the president's declaration to seek re-election in 2015, the women came in large numbers, full of thanks and expectations.
2011, he promised women and he fulfilled it, and we got our 35%. 2015, we know that he will give us 60% like Rwanda and South Africa. Nigerian women are solidly behind him.
He has fulfilled that promise by not even giving us 35. He gave us position in very sensitive places.
The president did not disappoint them as he acknowledged the role they have played in the transformation agenda, indicating that more is on the way.
I believe that any nation that ignores womanhood cannot achieve its full potential. That I'm sure that women were given more opportunities in government, and I have not been disappointed. Specifically, I doubled the percentage of women in the federal cabinet and gave them more challenging assignments.
The women said their partnership with Nigeria's First Lady, then Patient Jonathan, in canvassing for women empowerment is unshakable.
We're having it this good. because we have a first lady who is very kind, who is very compassionate, who is very amiable. We have got to support him, begging God that when he wins, which I'm sure he's going to win, in 2015, he will do double.
Just recently, the First Lady, Dame Patience Jonathan, reminded them that President Jonathan remains committed to women's cause.
Women, Mr. President has done his own. It's our time to do our own. Jonathan is the answer, and PDP is the party.
From the Eagle Square, Abuja, I am Makut Simon Machan, NTA News.
The declaration of President Goodluck Jonathan for another term in office was an epic event that brought together his admirers and supporters. Correspondent Chinedu Obike reports on the conduct and security aspects of the ceremony.
Really interesting to observe that despite the huge crowd that filled the Eagle Square, venue of the president's declaration, the event ended without any noticeable hitches. The security measures deployed by the organizers to ensure the success of the event equally proved very effective.
In spite of the mammoth crowd, everybody is quite happy and well behaved.
Well, so far so good, nothing has happened, so which means it's nearly perfect.
The Declaration Committee had done a good job. All the support groups turned out in colors.
As early as 7:30 in the morning, the Eagle Square was already filled to capacity with PDP members and admirers of the president from within and outside Nigeria. Some say the crowd that attended the ceremony is an indication of the president's acceptance by the people and their desire to support him for another term. As usual, the gathering turned out to be a carnival, an avenue for the expression of solidarity and support for candidates seeking elective offices at the state and federal levels. In Abuja, Chinedu Obike, NTA News.
Abuja, the capital of Nigeria, today played host to the people who came from all over the country to witness the formal declaration of Dr. Goodluck Jonathan to contest the 2015 presidential election. Kemi Fakeye reports that the Eagle Square was a beehive of activities.
The Eagle Square was filled to capacity while the venue was adorned with colorful umbrella of different shapes depicting the logo of the PDP, the platform on which the president is seeking re-election. With excitement, the political groups, who wore different colors and shades of cloth, rolled out the drums to celebrate President Jonathan, who they described as the man of the people.
And today is the day of celebration.
Trust Nigerians, despite the tight security, some still find time to make brisk business in and outside the venue. In Abuja, Kemi Fakeye, NTA News.
We now have in the studio live the Supervising Minister of Information, Dr. Nuruddin Muhammad, to discuss the President's declaration. Welcome to the studio, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Muhammad.
Well, now that the President has declared, what next?
Thank you very much. As I said, today the climax of the activities of the last 3 months or so, where Nigerians from all walks of life requested for Mr. President to run. And the only thoughtful thing to do...
In fact, 17.8 million.
17.8 million Nigerians. The only thoughtful decision to be made by Mr. President is to respond to this call of 17.5 million Nigerians who had signed against their names and address, verifiable addresses. And the memo we're waiting for, where Mr. President said, I, Goodluck Jonathan, I have offered myself to run, was the moment everyone was waiting for. Well, the President has declared, and he has presented himself to Nigerians, and he has enumerated the reasons why he thinks he's running and why Nigerians should vote for him again. The global ascendancy of Nigeria is inevitable. This has to be hastened, this has to be supported, this has to be enhanced. And that's the philosophy of the transformation agenda of President Goodluck Jonathan. And today he gave a very good account of himself from microeconomic framework and economic direction, where our economy is not only the fastest growing in Africa, it's also the largest. We are the 26th largest economy in the world. We have attracted more than $56 billion of investment into Nigeria. The macroeconomic stability, inflation is contained within single digit. In talking of infrastructures, Mr. President talk about infrastructure, Mr. President talk about transportation infrastructure, the quantum of roads that have been rehabilitated, federal roads, and thousands of kilometers, transportation, the railway system that were not working hitherto, that are working now, the light rail that is coming up, Kaduna, Abuja, Ibadan, Lagos, human development, where Mr. President spoke of education, the newly established universities, about 12, 2 specialized now. Each state has a federal university, the Almajiri school and the out-of-school children and boys and girls. Health, how Nigeria was able to halt the rise in HIV prevalence, how we only recorded 6 cases of polio this year, down from 300 when this government took over, how we collectively defeated Ebola. So the president today gave a very good account of himself, why he's running and why Nigerians should support him.
Well, as a member of the cabinet, in fact, the supervising minister of information and the minister of state for foreign affairs, what will you say? Will you say Mr. President deserves another term?
Yeah, Mr. President deserves another term, actually. This transformation agenda, Mr. President is the ideologue of transformation agenda. It is his conception to transform this country. And we have gone this far. So what we need is the support from all Nigerians, for Mr. President to continue to build on what has been achieved so far. Of course, there are challenges, and Mr. President did mention that.
Of course, challenges of security.
Security, yeah. And Mr. President himself did mention that, in fact, there was a minute silence for the reports of the souls of sisters and brothers who lost their souls, particularly in Yoruba yesterday. But the issue is about how we discuss these challenges we have. Our armed forces, our security forces have put their lives on the line so that me and you could have peace. If there are challenges with our security, we should discuss it in a way that doesn't undermine the integrity of
so
our
the issue
forces.
is discussed, the
way
way we discuss security.
Yeah, the discussion
not
is,
the way we are trying to curtail it.
No, the way we discuss security in this country. National security is a living thing. It feels, it hears, it listens, it has feelings, and security has both physical, social, and emotional dimension. So the discussion must be conducted in a way that will not undermine the security agencies or the moral authority of the president to mobilize this country, to mobilize the world, isolate these terrorists, win this war, secure the peace in this country, so that we'll continue to enjoy the respect of the world. I told you the global ascendancy of Nigeria is inevitable.
Exactly. Minister, very last question. Now that Mr. President has declared, how will you see the campaigns now going forward?
Well, Mr. President had said his philosophy, as always he has repeated that a couple of times, no Nigerian should lose his life because of the ambition of President Goodluck Jonathan. No Nigerian should go on exile because of their political opinion. And he bragged today that as of today there is no political prisoner. This is telling you the philosophy behind how the president intends to run his campaign. What you're offering is to other players in the political environment to imbibe the same spirit. And I'm assuring you are going to have a very successful, peaceful transition.
Dr. Nuruddin Muhammad, Supervising Minister for Information, thank you very much for coming to explain to us the philosophy behind the declaration and how the campaigns will be going.
Thank you very much, Mohammed.
Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure.
Moving on now, President Goodluck Jonathan says his administration is poised to curtail security challenges occasioned by insurgency and terror attacks, especially in the northeastern part of the country. The president gave the assurance while formally declaring to run for the 2015 election. Muhammad Hamza Sheikh has these details.
About 7 months ago, 200 schoolgirls were abducted from school in Chibok. Just a few weeks ago, about 100 women and children were again abducted in northern Adamawa State. This is apart from the incessant attacks on towns and villages in that region, resulting in loss of many innocent lives and destruction of property. President Jonathan appeared more disturbed, perhaps, by the recent bomb blast at the government science secondary school, Potescum, where 50 young promising lives were abruptly ended.
Let me crave your indulgence for all of us to stand up for 1 minute of silence to remember these young lads that have lost their lives. May their gentle souls rest in peace.
Indeed, may their gentle souls rest in perfect peace. Amen. In Abuja, Muhammad Hamza Sheikh, NTA News.
All schools have been closed down in Yobe State following the deadly suicide bombing by Boko Haram on the Government Science Technical College, Potescum, which killed scores of students and injured many others. Yobe State Commissioner for Education, Alhaji Muhammad Lamim, in a statement, directed both public and private schools running primary and secondary education to close down immediately, pending the improvement of the security situation in the state. The Northern Governors' Wives Forum has condemned in strong terms what they term the massacre of over 47 pupils of the government secondary school Potescum in Yobe State by a suicide bomber. A statement by the chairperson of the forum, Mrs. Yemisi Doshima Suswam, says the Northern Governors' Wives deeply sympathize with the families of the innocent pupils killed. They are appealing to the perpetrators of such dastardly act to have a rethink, adding there is no justification for such an inhuman act. The forum also appeals on the perpetrators to stop the killings and employ acceptable means of putting across their grievances. Up ahead, INEC suspends the creation of more polling units. Details when we return. Don't go away.
Into a beautiful symphony of brotherhood.
Change is never easy. It was not easy for Dr. Martin Luther King when Prime Minister Lee Kuan Yew transformed Singapore from third world to first world. It was not easy. They stoned him. It was not easy for Nelson Mandela.
I, Barack Hussein Obama.
It was not easy for Barack Obama. Nothing worthwhile ever is. Dr. Martin Luther King did it. Prime Minister Lee Kuan Yew did it. Nelson Mandela did it. Barack Obama did it. Goodluck Jonathan is doing it. He is transforming Nigeria. Mr. President, keep doing it. We who are with you are so many more than those who are against you. A message from protectors of Nigerian posterity.
Johnny S5.5, the slimmest in the world. Johnny, to be needed, to be loved. Johnny M2, 28 days standby time. Johnny, to be needed, to be loved.
Sheyi Makinde, stimulating attitudinal changes and initiating radical thinking. Sheyi Makinde, the man of his words, an achiever per excellence, imbibing public confidence and enlist mass participation in governance. Sheyi Makinde, a philanthropist driving a collective vision of a people of your state in a unique way. Sheyi Makinde, a man of the people and a silent achiever. Sheyi Makinde can be trusted to do more.
We will change the future of our state for the better.
Sheyi Makinde, the man for change.
Federal Ministry of Works, in conjunction with the Federal Roads Maintenance Agency, FEMA, is assiduously driving the federal government transformation agenda in the roads sector. Several arterial federal roads have been constructed and rehabilitated, while many others are undergoing dualization, amongst which are Kano Maiduguri Road, Sokoto Tambuwal, Abuja Lokoja Benin Expressway, Vom Manchok, Loko Uweto Road, Benin Ore Shagamu Lagos Expressway, Lagos Ibadan Road, Ibadan Ilorin, Abakaliki Mukpo Ogoja Junction Road, Aba Owerri Road, Enugu Port Harcourt Dual Carriageway. It is strategically replacing damaged grid guardrails with reinforced concrete and new jersey rails, as well as illuminating critical sections of selected federal roads and bridges. And over 7,000 young men and women in the P FEMA Public Works Program, FEMA, is poised to ensure quicker, cheaper, and safer road transportation. Federal Ministry of Works and FEMA, moving Nigerians on good roads.
The National Teachers Institute invites stakeholders to its 4th National Teachers Summit. Theme: Open and Distance Education, a catalyst for the production of quality teachers and the transformation of Nigeria. Chairman of the occasion, Professor Viola Onwuliri, Honorable Minister of State for Education. Lead paper presenter, Professor Peter Okebukola, OON, former Executive Secretary, National Universities Commission, and 60 seasoned academics. National Summit dates: Wednesday 13th and Convocation Lecture on Thursday 14th of November 2014. Time 10:30 a.m. each day. Venue: NTI's Marseille National Center for Strengthening Mathematics and Science Education, NTI Headquarters, Rigachukun, Kaduna. Chief host, His Excellency Alhaji Dr. Mukhtar Ramalan Yaru, FCNA, the Executive Governor of Kaduna State. Host, Dr. Aminu Laden Sharehu, OON, Mutawallin Zazzau, Director General and Chief Executive, NTI.
Teachers quality to make Nigeria great. I need a great deal, the best price I can get. That's why I shop on Jumia. Quality you can trust. You can count on us. It's your one delivery. We make shopping easier. Cash on delivery. When you shop on Jumia, when the rain or shine. Get the incredible Angel smartphones starting from 13,999 naira at jumia.com.ng. Jumia, the online shop you can trust.
Would you ever buy half a dress? Is buying half a car a good deal? Would you settle for less than 100%? So why compromise on your fruit juice? Presenting Chivita 100% real, natural fruit juice with no preservatives and no added sugar, with a rich texture and real taste of fruits. Chivita 100% natural fruit juice for you and your family. Chivita 100% real fruit juice, available in orange, pineapple, apple, orange pineapple, and orange mango.
House of Cheese.
A second chance is a human right. Goodluck Jonathan deserves a second chance. Sponsored by Fresh Focus.
A cup of jig in the water will get school uniforms whiter, and it is the tough stain fighter that will get your whites much brighter. Just Chickens! Potpurrian lemon. Just Chickens! Hey, you better go get it! Now available in lemon and potpurri fragrances, the newest and freshest way to chickens.
Get your favorite Dettol 70-gram pack for 100 Naira. And now available, the Super Family Pack for 170 Naira only. Whichever Dettol soap you choose, you get maximum protection against germs every day.
Chairman, Independent National Electoral Commission has called on Nigerians to believe in the electoral system. Professor Atahiru Jega stated this in Washington, D.C. while briefing international media on the measures INEC has put in place to conduct free and fair elections in 2015. Adeyemi Omojola Fatoba reports.
I happen to be the chairman of the commission, but there are at least 2 national commissioners from each of the 6 geopolitical zones in the country. So there is religious balance, there is ethnic balance, there is regional balance in the commission.
Atahiru Jega there debunking the allegation that some electorates were denied their permanent voters' cards in Lagos State. The INEC boss, who was responding to questions from the international media in Washington, D.C., lamented the impatience and unnecessary anxiety in some quarters with a view to discrediting INEC, which he said is doing everything possible to ensure that the 2015 election is an improvement upon the 2011 elections generally described as credible by local and international observers. Nigerian ambassador to the United States, Professor Ade Adefuye, told the international media to endeavor to be objective by also reporting good things about Nigeria.
Nigeria is going to be the bastion and focal point of democracy. We are going to do that in 2015 so that the cause of democracy in Africa will be strengthened.
In Washington, D.C., Adeyemi Omojola Fatoba, NTA News.
Still on electoral matters, the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has suspended the creation of additional polling units until after the 2015 general elections. A statement signed by the Secretary to the Commission, Mrs. Augusta Ogaku, announced that INEC will continue with the use of voting points where necessary to mitigate population pressure in overcrowded polling units during the forthcoming elections. The Commission will also relocate polling units from unsuitable locations and, as much as possible, ensure that the polling units are located in enclosures such as classrooms rather than open spaces. INEC says it took everything into consideration, especially the controversy over the creation of additional polling units that has been overheating the polity and the apparent inadequacy of the time for the exercise. The People's Democratic Party caucus in the House of Representatives from Ebonyi State says it aligns with the National Working Committee of the PDP, which insists on credible primaries for aspirants in 2015 elections. The group made the declaration during the press briefing in Abuja. National Assembly correspondent Ifeanyi Okafo has details.
Lawmakers expressed concern over the ongoing process for nomination of party candidates, in which they alleged that the state government assembled a group of persons without recourse to consultations with critical stakeholders.
We, collectively speaking, members of the House of Reps caucus, have been collectively retired, in quote, by the state governor and his appointees, as none of us, as we sit down here today, was considered in the allocation, in quote, of the delegate forms.
The group reaffirmed its support for the Ebonyi State Acting Chairman, Joseph Onwe, adding that the delegates elected in all wards of Ebonyi State, returned by the Musa Babayo-led Congress Committee on November 1, reflects the wishes of PDP members. They urged all organs of the party to remain resolute to ensuring that candidates emerge through adherence to the party's approved procedures and processes. From the National Assembly, Ifeanyi Okafo, NTA News.
The Labaran Maku for Governor Campaign Organization has reacted to a publication that attempts to impinge on the integrity of Mr. Labaran Maku. A statement signed by the organization's Director of Legal Services, Yusuf Zakari, described as false and misleading reports that Mr. Labaran Maku is seeking alternative means to realize his gubernatorial aspiration other than the platform of the People's Democratic Party, PDP. The statement explained that Mr. Labaran Maku is loyal to the PDP as one of its founding members and remains committed to the ideals of the party. The public is therefore advised to disregard the media publication, noting that Mr. Labaran Maku is confident of victory at the Nasarawa State PDP primaries and subsequently in the general elections in 2015. A major issue arising from the National Conference on Public Procurement is that Though 24 states have passed the public procurement law, there is no commitment to the implementation, just as advertorials do not contain adequate information on what the procuring entities want to enable the contractors make up their minds about the contracts. Correspondent Bosede Adebayo has details.
Opinions expressed by participants at the breakout session indicate that many states see the public procurement law as an imposition by the federal government. Consequently, the procurement process is subjected to a lot of abuse, political interference, and the salaries of procurement officers are inadequate to insulate them from temptation.
The procurement practice is still skewed in a way that there's a lot of capital flight. Most of these foreign companies make a lot of money, and with a touch of button, automatically the bank sends the money to their parent homes.
Before the contract is awarded, we make sure that the money is on ground.
There were suggestions on the need to computerize the procurement process and for professionals to man the relevant agencies while advocating local government autonomy.
I do not believe that non-professionals should work in very critical, sensitive areas, which has to do with money and which has to do with accountability.
It's important that you have an enabling environment and you have a legal framework that is acceptable and that is accountable to the people.
The Director General, Bureau of Public Procurement, Emeka Eze, said procurement reform can only be driven by political leaders.
We are going to engage the state government to ensure that those who have not passed the Procurement Act will get them passed. And those who have passed them will give the necessary political support to the agencies to enable them to perform optimally.
The two-day conference has as its theme Public Procurement, a tool for good governance. Boss Sedi Adebayo, NTA News.
Imo State Governor Rochas Okorocha says he will endow an award for the Best Reporter of the Year in Philanthropy and Charity in Nigeria Merit Award Series. He stated this at the 2014 Grand Award presentation ceremony in Owerri, the Imo State capital. Chuma Nwankwere reports.
Governor Okorocha thanked the NMMA Board of Trustees and the panel of assessors for a job well done and for the choice of Imo State for the ceremony. Engineer Vincent Maduka noted that the media has continued to impact positively on all strata of the society.
The entries must relate to the previous year. It's the work you did in the last 1 year that you enter for this year.
The Director General of NTA represented said the award would motivate upcoming reporters.
You are talking about the station of the year, for example, and then you think about a clarity of signals.
Of the 52 award categories across the print and electronic media, the award of Television Newscaster of the Year was won by NTA Oluseun Olagunju. Newspaper Award of the Year and Radio Station of the Year went to Punch and Ray Power FM respectively, while the NBC Prize for the Television Station of the Year went to Channels Television. From the International Convention Center in Owerri, Chuma Nwankwere, NTA News.
Nigerians have been advised to take health-related issues with utmost seriousness and make their health a top priority. Assistant Director of the National AIDS Control Agency, NACA, Dr. Emmanuel Agogo, gave the advice at the flag-off of a free medical exercise in Ijora, Lagos. The report.
Over 700 residents of Ijora and environs came out to take part in the exercise. The medical team checked their blood pressures, ascertained their HIV status and sugar levels. There was also tests for malaria and hepatitis, among other diseases. Medical experts at the venue noted that the importance of good health care cannot be overemphasized, as accessible healthcare system is the hope of billions of people across the globe and prerequisite for optimum socio-economic development.
Even for HIV particularly, people should not be afraid of coming out to test, of receiving their screening, because HIV is no longer a death sentence.
When we test them and we find they are positive, we now talk to them specially to be referred to the different hospitals where they can be taken care of.
The objective is to give a good health to the doorstep of our people. It's a way of at least touching their lives.
Beneficiaries lauded the efforts of the agency and concerned individuals for the initiative.
Very nice. I like their working with this thing, NACA.
The person that brings this thing, God will be helping them.
We are feeling happy, then we thank the government.
The free medical exercise afforded their residents the opportunity to have access to quick, qualitative health services.
Negotiations out of this funk, something needs to happen right now.
Come on to Tapel, one day go, Mr. Flavor, hey. Come on to Tapel, one day go, Mr. Flavor, hey.
Glow Collar Tunes. To get Wake Up by Flavor featuring One Day Call, text 300 to 7728. New and exclusive on Glow Collar Tunes. Tune costs 50 Naira only.
Glow Unlimited. Africa. Some see it as a land of challenges. We see it as a land of endless opportunities, where success comes from hard work and determination, and having a strong partner. Boxer, engineered to be stronger, engineered to last longer, because to make it in Africa, you need to be stronger for longer. Boxer, made stronger to last longer.
The sweet things of nature make you come alive. Yeah. The 7 tropical wonders are mine for the asking. Gee, exotic nectar. Gee, exotic nectar. Just exotic, oh yeah. Makes you come alive. Oh yeah. I can't get enough of the tropical freshness. Yeah. Exotic in goodness mixed with pineapple sweetness. Exotic nectar. Gee, exotic makes you come alive.
I need a great deal, the best price I can get. That's why I shop on Jumia.
Quality you can trust. You can count on us.
Get the incredible Angel smartphones starting from 13,999 Naira at jumia.com.ng. Jumia, the online shop you can trust. New Kamei body lotion.
He's always so busy, but no need to worry. I know my way to his heart. New Kamei lotion with oils for moisture, long-lasting moisture that lasts so long, all day long.
Your skin glows.
I know it glows.
Skin so soft.
Oh, what a glow!
You're the queen of my heart.
I'm a Kamei kind of woman.
Auntie.
Hello, my dear. I see you went shopping with your mom, right? And what did you buy?
Power oil. It has 0 cholesterol and 0 trans fats. And contains vitamin A and natural vitamin E. It's a healthy oil for a healthy family.
I'll buy Power Oil next time I go shopping, huh?
Power Oil. Healthy for you.
Johnny S5.5, the slimmest in the world. Johnny.
Still on NTA Network News, the Japan International Cooperation Agency, JICA, earmarks $4 million to address non-water revenue reduction in Nigeria. And the National Bureau of Statistics reveals that Nigeria's foreign investment in the third quarter stood at $6.5 billion. Details with Chazala Mikie on Business News.
Good evening and welcome to Business News. Data from the World Bank indicates that sub-Saharan Africa loses about $600 million in revenue yearly due to non-revenue water to utilities, a significant portion of what the UN estimates is needed to achieve the Millennium Development Goals. To reverse this trend, representative of the Japan International Cooperation, Seki Tetsu, believes that partnering with the Nigerian government will no doubt reduce water wastage.
Japan, in Tokyo metropolitan, 98% which they treated the water delivered to the tap. Can you imagine? Only 2% of the entire water, treated water, goes to be leakage. My vision is to expand entire Nigerian.
Meanwhile, figures released by the National Bureau of Statistics reveals that the Nigerian economy attracted a total investment of 1.5 trillion naira in the third quarter of this year, when added to the 1.55 trillion naira which was invested into the economy within the first 6 months of this year. The Bureau in the Capital Importation Report released stated that the capital imported in the third quarter of 2014 demonstrated a continuation of the upward trend observed over the year. The largest portfolio investment stood at 819.2 billion naira. And just before we go, a look at the graphic details of the day's trading on the floor of the Nigerian stock markets. And that's it on business. I am Chiazalam Ekie. The news continues.
The Archbishop of the Church of God Missionary International, Dr. Margaret Benson Idahosa, has pronounced that Nigeria will become a developed nation that will be desired by all as an indivisible entity. She made this declaration at the end of the week-long 2014 National Convention of the Church in Benin City. Udo Akobon Achibong reports.
The Balm of Gilead City, venue for the service, was filled to capacity as members of the church celebrated the success of the convention. The Archbishop said, having received the grace of God, Nigerians have the power to dominate in every area of human endeavor. She therefore urged all to tap onto that grace to do exploits for God.
They should go, develop, expand in all areas of life, because grace is everywhere for them.
Bishop Fepi Dahosa, Bishop Mike Okonkwo, Bishop John Bienose, and other preachers spoke on the theme of the convention, Grace for Dominion, stressing that it is grace that takes believers from their present circumstances to higher grounds. Some of the members spoke on their benefits from the convention.
You will live with an understanding that God's going to take you so that in the year 2015, you will not be in the place you used to be.
The fact that grace is a gift from God is very important to me.
We have been reminded that there is always a fresh grace from the throne of God.
In a communique, the church commended the federal government for the successful fight against Ebola and increased visibility of women in governance, but decried the level of corruption in the country, describing it as a pandemic. Free medical services had earlier been rendered to the public as a prelude to the convention. The Delta State government sent a representative to the event. In Benin, Udrakobong Achibong, NTA News.
African Union Ministers of Culture have met in Addis Ababa, the Ethiopian capital, to fashion out best strategies that will create jobs for the unemployed youths. Nigeria's Minister of Culture, Tourism and National Orientation, Edem Duke, attended the ministerial meeting as well as the specialized technical session. Mr. Duke maintains that an interface between youths, culture and sports will create an atmosphere where talents could be harnessed for national and continental growth and development.
All of these efforts to crystallize for us to begin to look at the agenda of youth, not only in isolation, but how culture and sports can propel the youths who make up the larger portion or percentage of our population to find self-actualization.
Most importantly, the fact that we should encourage employment among the youths through either culture sector or sports. And we have also recognized the contributions of various African countries, Nigeria particularly, where genuine contributions have been made by the youths through their own creative contributions to world development.
African Union Ministers of Culture's meeting also created awareness among member states on the need to ratify the African Renaissance Charter. When we return, a bit of foreign news and sports. Stay with us.
Combat insurgency and the plight of internally displaced persons is the focus on NTA Tuesday Live this week. Tuesday Live, informative, incisive, and engaging. Don't be told. Join us.
The government and good people of Niger State invite you to the 4th NBA International Literary Colloquium. Theme, Leadership and National Development. Date, 12th November 2014. Time, 10 a.m. Venue, Justice Idris Negbo Kutigi International Conference Center, Mina. Keynote speaker, His Excellency, Sir Joaquim Alberto Chisano, former President of Mozambique and Chairman, former African Presidents Forum. Chairman of the occasion, Professor Ibrahim Gambari, Royal Father of the Day, His Royal Highness, Alhaji Dr. Yahaya Abubakar, CFR, Etunupe. Discussants, Professor Unoma Azwa, Sumaila Dr. Ngozi Chuma, and Dr. Iman Shehu. Chief Host, the Chief Servant, Dr. Muazu Babangida Aliu, CON, Talba Mina, Sodangi Nupe. MBA International Literary Colloquium, Nigeria's Apex Literary Discourse Platform. Announcer, Niger State Book Development Agency.
The Board of Trustees, Management and Staff of the Tertiary Education Trust Fund, TETFund, cordially invite officers and lecturers in all TETFund benefited institutions who are managing entrepreneurship centers to a 2-day capacity building workshop in each of the 6 geopolitical zones scheduled to hold as follows. The main purpose of the workshop is to strengthen the delivery of entrepreneurship education and training of lecturers in public tertiary institutions in Nigeria. All invited participants are expected to be seated at 9:30 a.m. please. TETFund, fulfilling its resolve to continue to positively transform Nigeria's tertiary education system. Professor Suleiman Elias Bogoro, Executive Secretary, Announcer. The Board Chairman, Management and Staff of Universal Basic Education Commission, UBEC, joins millions of Nigerians to felicitate with Mr. President, His Excellency, Dr. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, GCFR, on his public declaration to recontest for the highest office in the land. Basic education has witnessed a boost under your transformation agenda. Your input to basic education is great, sir. Mr. President, we are proud of you. Alhaji Dr. Diku Siluman, Executive Secretary, UBEC, Announcer.
The FRCN, NTA and VON annual service of 9 lessons in Christmas carols is here again.
The program, which started over 10 years ago in Abuja as a local carol night, has grown into a national affair.
It's an exhibition of classical and Nigerian Christmas songs and carols,
featuring spirit-lifting renditions and inspiring messages in celebration of the living Christ.
Celebrated groups like the Last Ekweme Choral Group will be there.
Theme, celebrating the Prince of Peace.
Venue, National Christian Center, Abuja.
Date, Sunday, 14th December 2014.
Time, 3 p.m.
Message giver, Senior Pastor, Dunamis International Gospel Center, Dr. Paul Enenche.
For sponsorship details, call 0803-303-7678.
0803-704-3300.
Or 0802-722-2869.
Coming live on Radio Nigeria, NTA and Voice of Nigeria, Sunday, December 14, 2014.
The FRCN, NTA and VON annual service of 9 lessons and Christmas carols.
Making Christmas memorable for you.
On the international scene, regional leaders pay last respect to the Zambian President Michael Sata, as a South African court frees mother suspect of South African footballer Senzo Muyira for lack of enough evidence. This and more on Global Tidbits with correspondent Ronke Kolawole.
Tens of thousands of Zambians attended the Catholic Mass at the National Heroes Stadium in the country's capital, Lusaka, for the state burial of President Michael Sata, who died at the age of 77 in a London hospital. Regional leaders were also there to pay their last respects. Meanwhile, fresh elections are expected to hold in January in the South Central African country presently run by acting President Guy Scott. In South Africa, the murder charges against a man, Zana Mbata, arrested in connection with the killing of national football captain Senzo Muyira, have been withdrawn on the ground of no enough evidence. In Beirut, The United Nations peace envoy to Syria says the country's officials had given positive signals to a proposal for a local truce in the northern city of Aleppo, a main battleground in Syria's three-year-old war. Report says President Bashar al-Assad's reaction to the proposed truce was positive. For Global Tidbits, Ronke Kolawole, NTA News.
On in sports, National Sports Commission to partner Germany in sports development. And the Super Eagles intensify preparations ahead of the must-win African National Cup qualifier against the Red Devils of Congo on Saturday. This and more with Fisayo Ogunfoyi on Sports Update.
World champions Germany and African champions Nigeria have agreed to work together in sports development. The agreement came to the fore on Monday in Abuja when the German ambassador to Nigeria, Michael Zehner, visited the Minister and Chairman National Sports Commission, Tamida Nagogo, to discuss the modalities surrounding the establishment of the relationship.
We have a lot we believe we can share with Germany, a lot we believe we can learn from you, and a lot we believe we can have in terms of exchange.
As the Super Eagles of Nigeria intensified training towards the clash with the Red Devils of Congo in the AFCON 2014 qualifiers, a former Super Eagles midfielder Friday was enjoined the technical crew to select the best legs for the two remaining matches in the group.
We need to put our hearts together, we need to put our house in order, we need to focus on what we want and make sure that these two games, we don't lose sleep over it. We must give our best.
The first phase of the National Under-23 screening exercise is on at the Package B of the National Stadium in Abuja. Players from different academies and amateur club sides besieged the venue of the screening exercise.
We'll try as much as possible to look at those players and make sure we get the right players and the right ones that will form this team that eventually qualify for the Olympics.
The team is being knocked to shape to prosecute the qualifiers for the All-African Games as well as the Rio 2016 Olympics. With Sports News Update, Fisayo Ogunfoyi, NTA News.
Here now is a quick check on the weather prospects across the country. To round up the news, remember, it's your right to challenge anybody suspected to be involved in unwholesome activities around you. Be security conscious. This message is from the Directorate of State Security. That concludes NTA Network News for tonight. Thank you for watching. Good night.
Are watching NTA, Nigerian Television Authority. For more information and news updates, visit our website at www.nta.ng, or you can follow us on Twitter at NTA News Now, or you can like us on Facebook at NTA Network News. Stay connected on our YouTube channel at www.youtube.com/NTA News Online. Watch our live stream at www.nta.ng/live. NTA, you can't beat the rich.
Thank you.